From a garage, Jeff Bezos altered retail, cloud computing, and space exploration. Debates, failures, and public criticism threaten his legacy. This video investigates the growth, dangers, and fall of one of history's biggest corporations. 1. Early ascent and empire building. Jeff Bezos founded Amazon in Seattle, Washington in 1994, following his resignation from a high-paying Wall Street position to establish an online bookshop. Amazon became a worldwide e-commerce behemoth by focusing on its customers, being thrifty, and being brave in its invention. Its expansion went much beyond the realm of books on the internet. In the year 2000, Bezos established Blue Origin, and in 2013, he acquired the Washington Post with the intention of bringing about a revolution in the fields of space travel and journalism. Through the year 2019, his net worth has surpassed $200 billion, making him the wealthiest individual in the history of modern times. His voyage became a symbol of vision and risk paying off, until conflicts, obstacles, and changing public opinion started to undermine both his legacy and the empire he established. His journey put both of these things at risk. 2. Big wins and bold failures. The driving force behind Bezos' success is his unbridled desire. He firmly believed that failure was an inevitable and crucial aspect of the invention process. On one occasion, he made the statement, "If you are not failing, then you are not innovating enough." However, there were certain failures that were too significant to overlook. The Fire Phone, which was released in 2014, was Amazon's effort to get into the smartphone industry for the first time. The device's high pricing and lack of competitive features did not sway consumers. The write-off of $170 million served as a sharp reminder that even giants may make mistakes when reading the market. Amazon removed the video game Crucible, its first foray into the world of video games, from the stores after it received a negative response. Haven was a healthcare business that was a joint venture between J.P. Morgan and Berkshire Hathaway. However, after just 3 years, Haven was dissolved because it failed to deliver on its promise to improve healthcare. Kindle deletion scandal, 2009. In a move that stunned consumers, Amazon erased select ebooks from users' Kindles remotely. Ironically, one of the books that was removed was 1984 by George Orwell. The event raised significant concerns about digital asset ownership and consumer confidence. However, Bezos never shied away from making mistakes like this. In his opinion, multi-billion-dollar failures were the price that had to be paid for innovations that changed the game. This culture of risk tolerance led to the creation of all these products, including Amazon Web Services, Alexa, and Prime Video. In spite of this, the penalty of errors, both monetarily and in terms of reputation, became much greater as Amazon's influence increased. 3. Mounting challenges and controversies. There was an increase in scrutiny as Bezos' enterprise expanded. Reports of harsh working conditions at Amazon facilities posed a persistent public relations challenge. Labor and antitrust issues were also present. Workers mentioned insufficient breaks, constant performance monitoring, and long hours as some of the issues they faced. Detractors accused Amazon of prioritizing effectiveness over the well-being of its workforce. During the same time period, authorities in both the United States and Europe started looking into Amazon's dominance over third-party merchants, accusing the company of engaging in anti-competitive tactics and avoiding paying taxes. The Pentagon Jedi deal loss. In 2019, Microsoft was awarded a lucrative cloud computing deal for $10 billion, which Amazon had previously held. Many others thought that there was political influence, which might have been connected to the personal antipathy that then-President Donald Trump had for Bezos. This animosity was exacerbated in part by negative coverage from the Washington Post. In the year 2025, the editorial crisis at the Washington Post, Bezos' own media business was responsible for one of the most severe blows that occurred in recent times. On the basis of reports, it was discovered that he had imposed ideological alignment in the opinion section of the newspaper, allowing only views that backed personal liberties and free markets. The decision led to a wave of high-profile resignations from the affected journalists, who accused Bezos of eroding editorial independence. Subscribers responded by canceling their subscriptions in large numbers, more than 75,000 in just 2 days. a move that negatively impacted both income and reputation. A scandal concerning hacking and privacy, 2020. Bezos's phone was compromised according to the findings of an investigation conducted by FTI Consulting, which found with medium to high confidence that the hacking occurred via a WhatsApp message that was received by Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Bezos's ownership of the Washington Post and the publication's coverage of the murder of writer Jamal Khashoggi are the factors that are being considered as possible motives. There was a gradual erosion of the image of the unrivaled inventor as each scandal broke. However, these instances put a shade over his leadership style, raising issues about transparency, ethics, and corporate responsibility. Bezos had established a brand on trust and forward thinking, but these incidents cast a cloud over his leadership style. 4. Recent declines in current status. A series of recent setbacks to Bezos's financial situation and reputation occurred in rapid succession. A financial blow. In August of 2025, Amazon's earnings report for the second quarter was a letdown for Wall Street. The cloud segment, which had been a consistent growth engine in the past, exhibited signs of decreasing pace, and the firm failed to meet its sales projections. The 8.3% decline in shares in a single day reduced Bezos's personal net worth by $17 billion. The overnight drop in his wealth brought it down from $254 billion to $237 billion. Reactions from the political system. The perception that Bezos is becoming more conservative in his political views, which includes conjecture about a more favorable posture toward Donald Trump, has caused some of his followers to become disillusioned. Some think this change is inconsistent with his public persona and harms the Washington Post's reputation. Pressure from regulation, antitrust investigations in the United States and Europe have escalated, focusing on Amazon's treatment of third-party sellers, its dominance in cloud computing, and its acquisitions in the grocery and streaming industries. These legal disputes threaten to destroy pieces of the empire that Bezos has spent decades building. Tension on the public image. The public's belief in Bezos as a visionary has decreased, while employees at Amazon and the Washington Post continue to express growing discontent with the company's leadership. It was formerly believed that he exemplified innovation. Nevertheless, he is now being accused of being arrogant, having a political slant, and going above his authority. A guy who has based his career on unwavering confidence has reached a turning point as a result of these many setbacks. Now, the issue is whether Bezos is able to adjust or if this is the beginning of a downturn that will last for a long time. 5. Lessons learned and what's next. Lessons that are useful for business leaders and innovators may be learned from Jeff Bezos's ascent to prominence and his recent problems. The pursuit of innovation necessitates taking risks, but also being accountable. Bezos's willingness to take hazards resulted in the creation of Amazon Web Services, AWS, Kindle, and Prime. However, as his businesses expanded, the risk became higher. Failed ventures such as the Fire Phone and Haven demonstrate that even visionary CEOs need to strike a compromise between their ambitions and the reality of the market. This is a fragile trust. Beginning with the Kindle deletion issue and continuing with the editorial dispute at the Washington Post, Bezos experienced firsthand how difficult it is to rebuild trust once it has been shattered. Confidence from the general public may be more precious than money in both the corporate world and the media. To preserve a legacy, humility is required. Bezos's decision to step down as CEO of Amazon was intended to provide him with more time for Blue Origin and charitable work. However, in order to preserve his legacy, it will be necessary to demonstrate not just technical advancements, but also openness, ethical leadership, and a willingness to listen to those who disagree with him. Considering the future, Bezos faces a decision. He can either stick to his current approach, which could lead to further rifts, or he can change course, rebuilding trust and directing his efforts into a new field. There is one thing that is clear. Whatever the decision that he makes, the next chapter in Jeff Bezos's tale will be observed with the same level of attention as his remarkable climb. Thanks for watching, like, share, and subscribe for more.